Does the thought of detailing your own car stress you out? Well, you're not alone, so you have to watch this video. So the goal of my detailing channel on YouTube is to help democratize or to help make detailing accessible to everyone. And also I want it to be a stress-free experience. You should enjoy what you're doing. For me, it's still a passion, still 26 years after I started detailing vehicles. When I was young, I was only 16. I'm now 42 at the time of this recording. We're at the beginning of 2024. And so for me, it's a soothing and relaxing experience. But reading a lot of comments out there, especially for people who are just starting in detailing, right? There's always new generations, or regardless of what age you're at, perhaps you want to start a new hobby or you want to take care of your own vehicle and make it look better than new again, or fall in love with it again by enhancing its visual appeal, either in the interior and exterior or whatever rocks your boat. So what I want to do here is we're going to demystify and simplify all the processes. We're going to talk about that, how we go ahead and detail a car from beginning to end, how it doesn't have to be as daunting of a task, because if it feels like a chore, there's something you're not doing right. What I want to do is make you enjoy it and get that detailing bug to a point where you're going to want to go out either in your garage or in your driveway and take some time to either just wash your car. It can be as simple as that, or vacuum your interior, or do a full A to Z or A to Z full detailing service on your vehicle. So it can be washing, fully prepping, decontaminating, machine polishing, applying a ceramic coating, and the whole 9 yards. So again, this should be a very, very fun process, and hopefully you're going to get to enjoy this video. And honestly, the main purpose here on this video is to remove all of that stress or the anxiety that might come with detailing, or the thought of detailing your own vehicle. And again, this is regardless if you're a weekend warrior, if you're just starting out as a beginner, or even if you're a seasoned vet. There's a lot of veterans out there that sometimes feel overwhelmed, especially with social media out there. There's a lot of good things about social media, because we get to learn a lot about car detailing, right? Free tips and tricks that we didn't have 20 years ago. We didn't have access to the Facebooks and the Instagrams, and especially YouTube for all the tutorials. And nowadays you have access to all that amazing content at the tip of your fingertips, so you can dive into the rabbit hole as deep as you want. Always stay up to date with everything that's being out there. But I do understand that it can be overwhelming for a lot of people. So today, hopefully you're going to come out of this video feeling refreshed, de-stressed, and wanting to either get back into detailing if you had abandoned it, or if you're just starting out, you're going to get excited about taking care of your own vehicle. Not only is it going to look better, there's a satisfaction of having or driving a clean car, but you're also increasing its resale value. And yeah, it's just something different that I haven't really touched on before on this channel. So hopefully it resonates with you guys. And if you like these kinds of different style videos, drop a comment in the comment section. I always like reading your stuff. So first of all, we're going to demystify. We're going to make the process accessible to everyone. Again, whether you're a complete beginner or a seasoned vet, I have some key points here I want to remind myself to not forget. So I want to remind everyone again that, you know what, it's okay to be a beginner. Even people who start, well, you can't know everything on day one. So remove that stress right off the bat. You don't have to know everything from day one. I remember when I was 16 years old, my father had purchased me my first vehicle as a gift for graduating high school. And so it was my first car, my pride and joy, right? Freedom was right there for me to take my vehicle and go out and have fun with my friends and stuff. But I had always been OCD about cleanliness. And so I was wondering, well, how am I going to clean this? This is my first car. I'd never even thought of this. So he basically gave me a bucket, an old sponge, and some dishwashing liquid. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And he's like, here, son, this is how we clean our vehicles, right? I'm sure a lot of you people out there know, if you've had that older generation father give you that tip and advice. But I said, listen, this is something that my mom uses in the kitchen when she's washing the dishes. So immediately my brain was like, that doesn't make any sense that I'm using something that's very like degreasing properties, right, to clean the vehicle. Although it sounds intuitive, it also is counterintuitive. So anyhow, I digress. Let me get back to the main topic. So I knew there just had to be something else. So I started digging. We only had some, it was the beginning of some car forums and BBS forums. Back in the day, we had no social media. We're talking now in the 90s, right? So this is way before Facebook, X, or Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and all that kind of stuff. So asking left and right, going to car meets as well. So this is where we'd exchange with a few people. What are your tips, your tricks? How do you keep your car clean? So I started getting interested in detailing quite quickly because I noticed there were not as much tools, products, and equipment as we have today, but there was still like a selection at my local auto parts store I used to go to, and we all remember the classic Meguiar's, the turtle wax back in the day, the Mothers. So I was trying to figure out which one had the best wax, the glossiest one, the slickest one, even though they'd pretty much all only last about a month, nothing close to the cool ceramic coatings that we have nowadays. They were a pain to apply. Some had multi-step processes. I remember like the Meguiar's had a 1, 2, 3 step process in those like pink red bottles, right? Step number 1, kind of a compound polish. Step number 2, a glaze. Step number 3, your wax. Do you guys remember that? Drop a comment if you remember those old school kind of things. So yeah, it was tedious. The results weren't as great as today, but we still enjoyed the process. So I made a name for myself because I started cleaning and detailing a lot of cars from my local car club, and word to mouth spread around. And yeah, it was my pride and joy because I loved seeing the faces of the people when they'd come back and see their vehicles. They'd light up with a smile and they were amazed. And I was like, man, I did that with my own hands, right? So that was kind of cool. It was also some extra income because I was a student back then. So the summer times, I do like 3 or 4 cars, right? Interior, exterior cleanings. I started with the basic stuff. And that gets me to another point. When you're starting off, don't think you have to start off knowing everything or doing all the steps. You're gonna have to take some building blocks and build your repertoire of knowledge and your experience as well. So you don't start on day 1 with a full decon wash and then paint correction and then applying a ceramic coating, doing crazy machine polishing steps. That's not how we start. When we start, we're gonna start a proper washing and drying methods, right? Because that's usually the 2 key areas where most people induce marring and scratching on their paint is by improper contact steps. How do you properly clean wheels and tires? How to detail your interior. So do that vacuum. Use your APC or your interior quick detailer. Get those surfaces clean. Sometimes you need to sanitize them, protect them against fading and cracking against the UV rays. For your paint, once you're done washing, you can go ahead and not overcomplicate things, right? You can just wash your car if you want and apply a wax or a sealant. So it's only for a ceramic coating, but there are more steps involved in the prep because that's a multi-year protectant and you want to make sure it bonds well to the coat, to the clear coat. But for just your traditional wax and sealant, I mean, if you technically you could just wash your car and apply those. So you see, it doesn't have to be overly complicated and severe or with super strict rules. Nobody's going to come at your house and tell you, you didn't do this right. As long as you're following, by the way, the instructions on the labels of the products that you are buying, that is probably one of the first tips. When you buy something new, you don't have experience with that product or that brand perhaps, read the instructions. A lot of people just take the product, they assume that because it's a wax, you just apply like any other wax. Well, sometimes there's some specifications that are different. There's a reason why the chemists spend all that time coming out with detailed instructions. It's not only for you to get the best user experience, but for also you to get the best bang for buck for your results. You're paying your hard-earned money to purchase those products, so you want to make sure they last as long as the brand promises, assuming the brand is reputable and reliable. So don't get overwhelmed with that. Don't go nuts, especially if you watch social media. YouTube is my favorite source for detailing content because you get a lot of tutorials, product reviews. That's what I specialize in. But we're hundreds and hundreds of channels out there. So find a content creator that resonates with you. You might like their personality. You might like their approach, how they explain things, how they make things accessible to you, whatever it is. Follow a few of them. So don't take just one source. Have multiple sources in kind of your Rolodex of content creators on YouTube. And you're going to see some things are common. And other times you're also going to see techniques, products, and tools that differ from one to another. That's because always keep in mind there's not only one correct way of detailing a vehicle. Anybody who tells you that is completely wrong and out of their minds. So they're trying to force something onto you, and that is just not correct. I could find 10 of my detailing buddies or 10 of my favorite content creators out there. We'd come in to detail the same exact vehicles. Let's say we have 10 identical cars, and we're all saying, okay, we're going to apply ceramic coating. You'd notice differences in the way some prep, in the way some decontaminate, in the way some do paint correction, in the way some do the IPA prep, and the application of the coating itself, and we'd all still probably get to the same great results. So that goes to show that there are many different ways to do things as long as you're using safe methods and you're following the instructions and there is some logic, right? Use a lot of the times too, you have to use common sense when you're detailing, and you're going to gain naturally experience over time to just improve on your efficiency. So although all of us might have different techniques, what we're good at over time is being very efficient at detailing, especially if you're a professional. This is your livelihood. You have to get very good at being efficient because time is money. The less time you spend working on a vehicle, the more income you're generating, or at least the more profitable you are. That doesn't mean you're cutting corners. Being more efficient is being more productive, all still while delivering the best quality and results for your customers. I have a video, by the way, that I made with my friend Ivan LaCroix on efficiency. Go check that out, how to be more efficient in detailing. I'll try and remember to leave it linked in the description as well. He has over 4 decades of experience, and we give many tips out there, regardless if you're a DIYer or a professional. There's always ways in which you can improve yourself to get better at detailing. Now, in the midpoint of this video, let me always remember to enjoy the journey, all while you're learning and improving. Now, I want that to resonate with you. Please keep that key message in mind. So it has to be fun. If it's not fun, you're not going to want to learn. You're not going to want to stay up to date with all the latest tricks, techniques, the methods, and the new products that are out there. It's going to feel daunting and it's going to feel overwhelming. And so you're going to stop taking care of your vehicle, and naturally you're going to let it go to a state where it's not going to be visually appealing anymore. So keep it fun. What I like to do when I'm not recording, obviously, is put some music, either with some headphones, or if you have a sound system in your garage like I do, I like to put some tunes on. Put your favorite music. It just gets you into the mood. Put some uplifting music as well. If you're putting something that's depressing, maybe you're going to feel depressed when you're washing or detailing your vehicle. But basically put yourself in an environment or in a mental state where you're going to enjoy the moment. And usually, I'm sure a lot of you can resonate with that as well. When we're detailing a vehicle, I know I myself find it soothing and relaxing. Why? Because people tell me, how is it soothing if you're like, it's back-breaking work. You work 10, 12 hours on end to get your customer's car to perfection. And yeah, well, the reason is you forget about your daily woes. You forget about everything that's going on in your life because you have to focus on the task at hand. You have to focus on what's in front of you at that given moment. And so you tend to forget about everything else. Also, when I'm in the garage detailing vehicles, nobody else bothers me. I'm not bothered by anybody coming in the garage. This is my sanctuary. So this is my Zen garden, let's say. So people know not to bother me. I put my phone with notifications off. I don't want to be distracted. And so I'm kind of in the bubble when I'm there, right? I put the music. So you kind of condition yourself to say, this is going to be a great moment. And obviously I'm chasing those end results because I love seeing what I'm capable of doing with my own hands, right? It's so gratifying. And I love seeing the customer's face with the smile, or even if I'm just doing this for fun for either my girlfriend's vehicle or my brother's car. You've seen my brother on the channel a few times, or for family and friends. If I'm doing something just to make them happy, well, it makes me happy if they're happy. So again, it puts you in a positive mindset every time you're detailing. Put that either, again, the music, or make sure you turn off notifications. People are not supposed to bother you during that moment. It's a time, especially if you're not in a professional setting, it should be a time where you have some free time. This is what it is, right? So it can be after your kids go to sleep. If you're a night owl like I am, I go to bed at like 3 or 4 a.m. because that's when I do most of my detailing. Nobody bothers me again. It's at night, it's quiet. I can do my filming, my editing, all that kind of stuff. Find a time that's suitable to you. If you have a busy life with a family, that's fine as well. But I'm sure you can schedule in at least a half hour to an hour just to wash your car on a weekend. Maybe it's early on in the day or later in the evening, whatever suits you best. Find something where you're going to be quiet and enjoy the process along the way. So one of the first things as well, we can talk about the overwhelming variety of products, tools and equipment that you can find either online or at your local auto parts store or at your local big box store. If you go in the detailing products aisles, if we're in the US, AutoZone, O'Reilly, all that kind of stuff. If you're in Canada, the Canadian Tires of this world, when you step in there, or even Walmart, both in USA and Canada or anywhere else around the world. I'm sure you guys have your stores where you buy your stuff. And of course, online on the more prosumer to professional levels, right? I'm going to have a bunch of links to all the good places I recommend online to purchase more specialized detailing products, because at the big box stores, they have a few brands, but not the prosumer usually or professional level brands if you want to dive into that. So I digress. Yeah, it seems overwhelming. It can be intimidating, because I remember too, when I was a young teen, just going to the local auto parts store and looking at that car detailing aisle and what seemed like an endless selection of waxes and sealants. And nowadays it got even more complicated because we added graphene-based products, ceramic sprays, ceramic coatings to the mix, right? So there's an endless sea of soaps that are regular soaps infused with waxes. Then you're going to get degreasing soaps, acidic soaps. We have snow foams that produce snow foam in your foam cannon. For the interior, you have some cleaners. Sometimes you have quick detail sprays. You have just protectants. You have leather stuff, vinyl stuff, rubber. They're all-in-ones. Glass cleaners is another one. There's so many. Tire dressings galore. Petroleum or solvent-based, water-based. It can get confusing. I get it. And that's not even diving into the polishing machines and all your compounds, your polishes, which one you get, what type of paint you have, which is going to be the effective one for you, and all that kind of stuff. And I do get it. But note that when you're starting off, you have to remember that you don't have to get every tool, equipment, and product and gadget that's out there to start off. No, I myself started with a bucket. Did I even have a grit guard back then? It wasn't even a thing. So a bucket, a wash mitt. We didn't even have microfiber towels at the beginning of the 90s. That wasn't something that was super popular yet. And I think there was a clay bar, maybe a spray wax, and that's pretty much it. Or paste waxes were the thing, right? So, but we still enjoyed the process and we still got great results. Guess what? If you're watching this video, by the way, that means you're part of most likely 1% of the general population that even cares about their vehicle. If you go out on your street and you love detailing, everybody I know tells me the same thing, and I'm a witness to it myself because it's the same thing where I live. When I detail my car and I look outside, well, all the other neighbors, they're always looking at you in this weird way, because 99% of the general population, they don't care about their cars. They're not going to stay out there using detailing products to detail their vehicle. At best, they might use some dishwashing liquid to clean their car on a Saturday afternoon at noon, the worst time of the day when the sun is blazing and it's at the warmest and hottest. It leaves water spots galore on the surface. There's no paint protection on there. There's stripping protection if they're using dishwashing liquid. Basically, they don't really know what they're doing. They just want to get the car clean and they don't really care. So by watching these videos, you're already part of that 1% that I call us special people out there who care about the appearance of their vehicle, who care about maintaining and protecting the vehicle both inside and out, and who just enjoy driving a clean vehicle in general. So you're ahead of 99% of the population. So, and that's just by you being interested in detailing and wanting to take care of your vehicle. So you don't necessarily have to be a 20-year veteran with hundreds of hours of polishing under the belt to be able to enjoy the process. Everybody can start somewhere and hopefully enjoy this. Again, it has to be fun. If it's not fun, it's going to feel like work. And if it's work, you're not really going to want to do it, especially not on the long run. Imagine this, after 26 years of detailing, this is still my life's biggest passion. And case in point, I have a dedicated YouTube channel for car detailing. So in April, I'm filming this right now in February of 2024. In April, it will be 8 years that we are doing YouTube, one of the biggest car detailing channels on YouTube, thanks to you guys, by the way. We're on our way, if not done yet at this point when you're watching the video, to 1 million subscribers, 130 something or 140 plus million views at this point. Just insane. Again, I have you, each and every one of you, to thank for that. But it shows at 1 million subscribers, there's a lot of people who are interested, and there's usually only about a third of the people who watch videos who are actually subscribed, because some people don't have Google accounts or they don't click the subscribe button for whatever reason. So there's another 2/3, so we can probably estimate there's 2 to 3 million people watching my videos at any given point. So that's a lot of eyeballs who are interested in the topic, and that gets me excited, because for me, this is my life's biggest passion, and one of the main goals of my channel was to help give you guys that detailing bug, help give you guys the passion by sharing all my tips, tricks, the knowledge that I accumulated over the years, but also hopefully my passion translates through the camera and you guys again get that detailing bug. I want to make detailing accessible to everyone. This should not be just for a certain elite of people or only for detailing professionals. This should be for everyone to enjoy regardless of what income you have, how much budget you have to spend on stuff. You can start very basic. And again, case in point, by the way, I have 2 cool videos that you can find. I'll try again and link those in the description under the video, but a basic car wash kit. So basic tools and products to get yourself started for the exterior. And then I have a second video called the Basics Interior Detailing Kit. So the tools, the products, and the equipment that you'll need to start off to do a good job with the interior as well. And you're going to see, I think we're at 100 or 150 bucks to get all that. So you don't have to spend tens of thousands like I have in my garage with crazy stuff that I accumulated over the decades too, by the way. It takes time to get to that point. When you find something you like, then, and you have some disposable income, you can reinvest in yourself if it's a hobby, or reinvest in your business if you're a professional, to get your tools and equipment to that next level eventually. You don't have to start off with a $2,000 pressure washer. That is not true. Anybody who tries to tell you that's the truth, again, they're completely lying or they're delusional. You can start with most of the basic stuff, a bucket, a wash mitt, a few chemicals, some few microfiber towels, and today more and more the competition is so big that there's also less and less bad brands or bad products. You can go to your local auto parts store even and start off with some pretty decent stuff. So there's never been a better time to get into detailing than right now. So if you stopped detailing a few years ago because you found it overwhelming, give yourself a chance, follow these videos, get back into it, but enjoy the process. So if we talk about the products, by the way, always buy products from brands you appreciate. If you like their ethos, if you like what they're about, you've seen a few of their videos, you've seen them on social media, and you feel like you want to support them, well, go ahead. Test their products, but don't stick to one brand. I like, as you know, to go to many different brands. Like my shelves are filled with products from different brands. I'm not sold to just one company. I'm always on the hunt for the best products from different brands. So see what each one has to offer. There's new brands also popping up all the time. And the good thing about competition, it pushes everybody to push the envelope for innovation, and you're getting better products in the end. So try different products, try from different brands as well. See what you like, and in the end, help encourage companies that you believe in and that you want to give your hard-earned money to, if they deserve your business and your money. So also, I want to say that you can start off by learning a lot if you just take a few hours and take some notes. So I know a lot of my viewers, they tell me, Pan, what I do is I take your videos and then I'll put pause and I take notes, and that way I know everything what to do. A lot of people are visual. That's why I like YouTube a lot. You can see the tutorial, you can see the product in action, you can see how I do things and how I like to explain things. And so I came up with what I call a Detailing 101 series of detailing videos for beginners. We go through the entire process. So basically, from how to wash your vehicle, how to use chemical decontamination like iron removers and tar removers, mechanical decontamination like a clay bar, clay towel, or clay mitt to remove any further embedded contamination. It can be paint overspray, it can be tree sap, it can be leftover brake dust that the chemical step didn't do, industrial fallout, so on and so forth. And then the paint correction step, so machine polishing, the compound, the polish, which pads, how do you go about things? How do you use the machines, whether it's dual action, rotary polishers, forced or direct drive or forced rotation, all that kind of stuff. Then prep the surface with a isopropyl alcohol solution to remove those polishing oils so the protection can bond better. And also things like applying a ceramic coating or a wax on the surface. And I also have a tutorial on how to clean and detail the interior of your car. So basically that Detailing 101 series, I'll leave all those videos linked in the description under the video for you guys to check them out. They're a great starting point to learn pretty much everything step by step. So you take your time and take it maybe 1 a day or 2 a day, how much you guys can stomach or sit down through. Enjoy watching the videos. Like I tell my viewers, right? Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. You're lucky that you have all these content creators now that just share their passion and knowledge with you guys. And so you can accelerate your knowledge curve like tenfold compared to what we used to start with decades ago, right? And you don't have to pay thousands of dollars to get proper training unless you want to perfect yourself even more and get one-on-one trainings or trainings in small groups. But at least all the basics part, that's free on YouTube. So it's free for you guys to check out. I highly encourage you also check out other detailing channels, get stuff from different sources, and support the detailing community. That's one way you can do it, is by watching our videos and helping to support us channels out there that work really hard. Producing videos is something that's insane. There's videos that can take me 10 to 15 hours to produce. I also make videos in English and French, so I restart that twice. So it's a very long process. I've never skipped a single week of uploads in 8 years of doing YouTube at this point. So it's a lot of hard work. And I can tell you my fellow content creators work just as hard, so help to support them as well. There's a lot of good guys out there and gals as well doing great jobs. So yeah, it's just a great detailing community to be a part of. So help encourage that. And so if we break the detailing process down into steps, as I said, so it doesn't have to be daunting. It can be just a basic exterior wash, right? You want to wash your car before you go out and about, drive around town or go to see your friend's house, or just have it clean for a few days and all that kind of stuff. So it can be your basic wash. It can be a snow foam with a foam cannon. You don't even need a pressure washer if you don't want to. Regular garden hose can do the trick. So a bucket or two with a few grit guards in the bottom to keep all that dirt in the bottom. Your wash mitt, a good car soap. And if you use proper methods, right, work in the shade, not in direct sunlight. Make sure you use a quick detail spray with your microfiber drying towel to act as a lubricant, so that way you're not marring the paint when you're doing your drying steps. You're going to boost the gloss and the slickness. So that can be a basic wash. For your interior, it can be your basic vacuum. It could be your quick detail spray with a little detailing brush or a microfiber towel to get into the nooks and crannies and do a light clean and apply a bit of protection against fading, cracking, the sun's damaging UV rays. Clean the glass, of course. And then you can move on to your more advanced steps if you want to apply, for example, a wax. So what would you do? I would at least wash and clay the vehicle, and then you can apply the wax. Paint correction isn't always necessary, but then of course, if you want the maximum gloss, the best clarity, remove all the defects like oxidation, scratches, and swirls, well then machine polishing is the best way to do that. And by the way, that's the best way to get the biggest increase in a visual striking difference of the gloss, is not by applying a wax, a sealant, or coating. Yes, those sometimes can boost the gloss units a bit if you were to measure with a gloss with a gloss meter. However, the biggest increase in gloss units will always be by paint correction, because with paint correction, you're flattening or leveling the surface, so you're getting better light reflection, hence an increase in gloss and clarity. You're removing the defects, and you're just making the paint more visually appealing as well. You're getting more depth, more pop, and you're getting the true, especially if you have, for example, a metallic paintwork, you're going to see that metallic flake pop. If you have just a non-metallic paint, you're going to see a lot more of that true color. So it just, yeah, it's really cool, and it doesn't have to be complicated. If you watch in my Detailing 101 series, my paint correction tutorial for beginners, we're going to demystify all that, and you can start, right? How do you start, Pan? Well, on your own vehicle, or you can offer your services for free to a member of your family or a friend or a neighbor. Sometimes that's how we always start. At least that's how I started, with neighbors' cars, family cars, and then I moved on to doing cars for my local car club and that kind of stuff. So you're going to gain naturally some experience, and you have so much knowledge out there in video form, you can't really go wrong. The majority of the stuff today is pretty much safe on all cars, and if you use judgment, common sense, and you read the instructions, there's no worries and no stress to be had, guys. So if we look at the next thing, it will be probably the terminology. So a lot of people get hung out or stressed about the words, right? So they watch a few videos of some professionals or some more advanced friends that they might have that are car detailing enthusiasts for many years, and they'll hear terms like dual action, random orbital polisher, direct drive polisher, gear driven polisher, rotary polisher, isopropyl alcohol paint prep spray, silicon dioxide protectant, graphene reduced oxide, titanium dioxide, hydrocarbons. You're going to go nuts trying to fully understand all of that. but the basics are always the same. We're talking about washing the surface, decontaminating the surface, so removing contamination, which can be tree sap, which can be industrial fallout, which can be brake dust, which can be paint overspray, some acid rain, some bird droppings, all that kind of stuff. Basically, removing all the impurities that are embedded inside the clear coat, so making the paint clean. And then you have paint correction steps, which we just spoke about, right? To increase the gloss, the clarity, remove the defects, the swirls, the scratches, the oxidation, make that paint pop, make it glossy, make it look amazing. And then you want to protect the paint with either a traditional carnauba wax, a synthetic paint sealant, a ceramic coating, a graphene coating. Basically, there are three major types of paint protectants, right? So traditional carnauba waxes, 1 to 3 months durability on average. Paint sealants, 4 to 6 months durability on average. Again, there can be some variations, but on average. And ceramic coatings, those are multi-year paint protectants in glass vials. There's an in-between form in spray forms now, 6 to 12 months durability. But I have a video on that. What are the differences between waxes, sealants, and ceramic coatings? Which one is the right paint protection for you, depending on your needs, your budget, and your experience level? So you can find all of that, right? One way to find stuff is in the YouTube search bar. Just type the topic and add pan the organizer at the end. For example, how to wash your car, pan the organizer. It's going to bring you to my tutorial. How to do paint correction, pan the organizer. That's going to bring you to my tutorial. How do you apply a ceramic coating, pan the organizer, and that will bring you to my tutorial. So I think you understand the main messaging point. You can search for content that you're curious about, and there's likely a video out there on that topic. So those are the main messaging points I wanted to get through. Hopefully, guys, I helped to demystify a bit, or at least de-dramatize all of that. Bring it back to a level where start with the basics, start having fun, enjoy the process. Go out there, just start with your basic car wash and see if you like it. And then you can start going down the rabbit hole, because it can be as deep as you want. You can spend as much time as you want on a vehicle and go as far as you'd like with the different steps. And of course, depending on what your needs are, what your budget is. So note that there's a lot of content out there that can help you. Enjoy watching the videos as well, just like this one. Hopefully you enjoyed. By the way, if you like this kind of stuff, smash the thumbs up button. This really helps support the channel. This also gives YouTube a clue that you guys are really enjoying this. And drop a comment in the comment section. Does detailing stress you out? And hopefully, is this going to help you kind of remove a bit of that fear and get you back into detailing? And if I've helped you in any way, shape, or form get back into detailing, or at least enjoy it if you're a beginner and you now love it, and perhaps it even became your livelihood, let me know. I always like to have you guys' feedback. So don't forget, guys, have fun with detailing. It should be an enjoyable experience, not a stressful one. Experiment with different products from different brands, find what works for you, and enjoy the satisfaction of driving a clean and shiny car. I know I like to do that. And so, yeah, detailing should be a soothing and relaxing experience. If you know anybody that can benefit from this video, why don't you share that with them? Share the video and tell them, hey, there's somebody that can explain the way you feel and hopefully make you feel even better about it. So in the meantime, guys, don't forget, keep it tight, keep it clean, and I'll see you on the next one.